Hey Exploration Nation, today I am in the cab of an Alco RS3 train engine that has been abandoned for over 10 years in the East Tennessee mountains. It was built in the mid-1950s. This is an amazing train. We got some cars back to check out, so let's go take a look. Here's the view that the engineer would have had. Here are the controls. I don't know if that was a brake or throttle, because there's another lever right over here. This looks like this may have been the brake right here, but I don't know which was which here. But the engineer was here. There was a chair originally right here, and you can see where the control panels were. The vandals have been heavy at work here. And there used to be, I believe, another panel right here that I'd seen in previous photographs taken by the people. And this is all the electrical here coming off of the generator. Big diesel engine that generated the power. You can see some of it right through there. We'll take a walk down beside it and you can get a better look at it. But came here where all the wiring came in, and of course all the wiring has been stripped out of it and so on. So even out here in the middle of nowhere, vandals are at work. And a local man stopped by a while ago and said that he was here about 2 months ago, and the generator up here had a lot more parts on it than it does now. So he said a lot's been taken from it. There's not much room here, so here's the back end of it. Looks like there might be enough light, but that's better. And you can see everything here. Diesel engine turned this, it generated the power for the engine. And it's also fed to the cars in the back for lighting and things of that nature. And here is the top of the engine, part of it. Of course, just about this whole front end is diesel engine. And we'll go down and take a look at this and see. And this is just amazing. I wished I could have been here before, like about a year ago, but wasn't able to get here before now. If I'd gotten here sooner, there might have been some more parts left on here. Let me let you guys take a look down that bank right there. And up front here. Now there are reports, and I've seen many reports, that when this train is running, that something went wrong with the fan that cooled it, and they put a box fan in up here in order to try to fix the problem. And the vandals have even taken a box fan. And that about figures. So, a little bit of history while I walk back down through here. This was an excursion train. This was the last time it was used, and it ran last around 2008, I believe. And the owner of the track, let's close this back as far as it'll go. The owner of the track was different from the owner of the train, and he revoked permission to run the excursions on his tracks right here after he took the owner's train head on one day. Now, it was a low-speed collision. Nobody was hurt, and so no damage that you can see on the front or anything of that nature. But permission was revoked, and I don't know exactly when that was, maybe around 08, something like that. This railroad line was sold in 2010, and the new owner wouldn't let him resume the excursions. So the train's been sitting here about 13 years unused, which is a shame because, as you can see, the vandals even have taken the lights out of it. Everything is going. And the owner of the rail line, which, just a little side note here, that goes back to the 1800s and originally served coal mining operations in this area. The owner of this rail line filed for abandonment with the federal government in February of 2020. And sadly, the custom when a rail line is abandoned like this is for them to come in and sell everything in the area for scrap, which will probably include the train here. Okay, this little room right behind the cab, I don't know what was in here, but things have been taken out. Let's take a look and see what we've got in here. There's some type of equipment in here. I don't know what it is. Looks like primarily electrical, whatever it was. And this either drew air in or vented it out through the cab, one or the other. I don't know which. And I seriously don't know what I'm looking at. Now that's the mechanism for the handbrake right there. And this is where the lights on the rear were. And of course somebody's had to take them. And up here is where the plate that was lit had the engine number on it. Here's the two light fixtures right here. And on the other side as well that lit it. And of course this one on this side has been taken too. So if any of y'all are familiar with these old engines, specifically the Alco RS3, let me know what I'm looking at, what I've been seeing, not just in that little room right there, but anywhere on the train. You see something, you know what it is, tell me in the comments below, because I would like to know what it is, what everything is. Now back here is, and excuse the colorful graffiti that you can't seem to get away from. But this was the baggage car, and I don't think, yeah, the door's stuck. Let's see if this one isn't. Now it's stuck too, so of course the mail was carried on here. Okay, and next we have what appears to be the more expensive class, maybe called first class, as you can see from the seats. Very nice. And reclining seats. Now the upholstery on this is a little bit newer than the cars, obviously. This looks like, actually it looks like 70s type stuff, 80s, but maybe the Retromantic would know. She specializes in retro things and retro upholstery. She might know about when this was, 70s, 80s, so maybe she can tell us when she watches the video. But you can see the overhead here for the luggage. Big picture windows. This is a nice car and was the way to travel back in the day. Soft floor, I did not see that. I'm going to have to watch there are places in this floor that are, I found another one, that are weak. So, not a real good idea to not watch where I'm going. All right. Going back to the back car here. Let's see what this was. I guess that was a closet. And this was a where, well, let's see what this was. This looks like, this is electrical right here. Blower, fan. Okay, this is an old electrical panel. Boy, is that an old electrical panel for sure. Can't quite make out. Well, it says 1901-something, 72320. I'm trying to look for a date on something like this. Fan pilot relay. Test switch. The label, I don't know if you can see it. There's a label back there. Label this a test switch. And overhead heat. Right there. And the main. So, yeah, this is the main electrical panel for the car. So, and going on back, and I had wondered about these plates over the steps from the outside. You can't get up outside. Dutch door. I guess that's so the conductor could flag the engineer, let him know when it was okay to proceed, or make sure that the way was clear for the train to proceed, that nobody was close to it. But if you can see this right here, from the outside, the plate covered the top of the stairwell, and I couldn't figure out why. So apparently they put this down when the train was in motion in order to keep people from getting on the steps or anything like that. That's just speculation. Obviously it was to keep people off the steps at some point. And here's another one. Okay. And of course the vandal's been at work. Give you a peek down this side right here. And back towards the back. And there's a lot of this in French, so this car may not have originally been American made. Some of these cars were from a transit authority in Canada, which I have read about before, and converted to excursion type trains. Now you can see the windows are different, and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, it's all in French. Everything here is primarily in French, so I think this was an old transit, public transit train car right here. Little bird nest. Now, if this had been a passenger service car, these kind of seats would have been found in the economy class. The railroads did have various ways to travel for those that could afford it and for those that traveled on a budget. So they could accommodate everybody that could. And this is a kind of economy class type seating, sort of. But as you can see, it also looks more like bus seats, at least bus seats from my day. In school buses, this is about what we had. So this is going to be a public transit, and yeah, here we go. See a place to put your bicycles back here. And once again, the colorful graffiti. That's just awesome. We all want to see that for sure. And I would like to find some evidence of where it came from. Sometimes I've been in one before where the Transit Authority decals were still in it, but I don't see it in this one. And since this one, that door closer still works. Since this was an excursion train, then I guess they took all those out. Again, overhead luggage storage. And you can see the type of lighting in here. Not exactly the kind of lighting that you would find in an old Pullman car or anything like that. That's fluorescent. So we've definitely got a public transit train car here, which is common. Take one more look in here and see if... Nope, and of course the vandals have cut all the wiring out of here. And so there is no indication that I can see of where it came from. All these are just the stickers and stuff, the decals on the circuit breakers. And, well, right there. I wonder if that's it. Alright, I'll look that up when I get home and see what that is, because that is probably the Transit Authority right there. Alright, I think there's a way out back here rather than straight down the side of the engine up front. Yes, here we go. And here's one of those plates folded up. And handrail on the bottom. This is made the same way. Here's the other car. And take a look. And here, it's still hot weather, so I really don't want to get too deep in this. Big leaf springs and coil springs. And yeah, you can see where there are tracks. This was a switch right here, and it has badly overgrown. Now in the description I will put a more detailed history of this rail line and the train, because there are a lot of details and I don't want to get into it in this video, so I'll put it in the description below, so be sure and read that. And hey, here's the switch. Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna move it. Well, I can hear the track moving a little. And it says Bethlehem on it. So even after all these years, over a decade, that still moves. And I could hear movement back in there when I got up to a point where it stopped. I gotta try this again. What was that? As far as I can pull that. This is probably the year. This is 19 79 on it. Now, that big old bang, I'm sure y'all heard that. What was that? Now, even though this is a popular place for people in side-by-sides and four-wheel drives and so on, there is nobody else here but me. And I heard that same sound a while ago, and I thought somebody had squeezed off a firearm out here, squeezed off a round. But that came from inside the car somewhere. That's okay. This is getting creepy now. I didn't intend for this to be creepy, but it's getting creepy. Don't need to start hearing all manner of noises in here now. As a matter of fact, let's go back in there and see what we can find. I want to know what that was. All right. Is there by any chance anybody in here with me? I'm just taking pictures. It sounded too loud to be a footstep unless somebody found a weak place in the floor and it popped or something. That sounded like metal popping. And I've walked from one end to the other, and I still, weak places and all, and I'm not making it pop. I wonder, that was down. I wonder if this stair cover back here fell. It fell shut. If it did, that would have been loud enough. Let's go back here. That's the only other thing that I know of. Guys, that was creepy. It's not exactly nighttime out here, but I am out here by myself with no cell service whatsoever. I am in these sticks. So I don't want to be surprised by anything or anybody. Nope. That is still up. It'll go down, but not very easily. Okay. And this one is still up. And same story, not very easily so. That was a loud bang, and I think it came from this car right here. That's backed by wood, so I don't know what that was. I have no idea. If this were a 3 a.m. challenge or something, it might be time to exit stage left or stage right. Wouldn't care which. Alright, back out to the engine. Everything looks like it's exactly. Don't think that sound came from the engine, but let's just take a look, see if anything looks like it moved. None of the side access doors will shut completely. Everything's right where it was left. Those stayed open. I didn't shut any of those. Okay, none of the access doors down here have been moved. Even if a pair of them had popped back open, none of them will shut all the way anyway, so that's not it. And it wouldn't have created a noise that loud. So I don't know what that noise was. That was creepy. So I have no idea. We'll just have to chalk it up to unexplained. That's it for this excursion on the old abandoned train in East Tennessee mountains. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming along, and I will see you in the next video. For now, exit.